In a small, quiet village, there lived a man named Caleb. Caleb was a kind man, but his life had been hard. He worked day and night in the fields, yet his family often went hungry. His heart was heavy, not just with hunger, but with hopelessness. One day, Caleb heard whispers in the marketplace. "Have you heard about the teacher?" One villager said. "They say he heals the sick and brings hope to the brokenhearted." Caleb listened closely. He had heard of this man, Jesus. Some said he was just a carpenter, but others called him the Son of God. That evening, Caleb decided he had to see for himself. The next morning, he joined a crowd gathering near the edge of the village. There, standing on a hill, was Jesus. He looked ordinary, but his words carried power. Jesus opened a scroll and read, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Caleb felt a stirring in his heart. Could this really be true? Could someone bring freedom and healing to people like him, poor, forgotten, and weighed down by life? Jesus looked at the crowd and said, "Today, this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." The people gasped. Some whispered in disbelief, but Caleb felt hope begin to rise. As the crowd dispersed, Jesus stayed, speaking to those who needed him. Caleb approached hesitantly, but Jesus turned to him with a warm smile, as though he had been waiting. "What burdens you, my friend?" Jesus asked. Caleb poured out his heart. He spoke of his hunger, his family's struggles, and his tired soul. Jesus listened intently and then said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me to bring you good news. You are not forgotten. God sees you and loves you." Then, Jesus placed his hands on Caleb's shoulders and prayed. Caleb didn't know how to explain it, but he felt lighter, as though the weight he had carried for years had been lifted. From that day on, Caleb's life changed. He worked with renewed joy, knowing he was loved by God. He shared his story with others, telling them about the teacher who came to bring hope, healing, and salvation to the world.